To survive, players better stick together. Elden Ring Nightreign is an online cooperative game in which you will have to survive in a team of 3 for 3 days. Players will be able to choose one of 8 characters called Nightwalkers, each with a name, appearance, characteristics, skills, art, and starting gear. They will then be able to either work together with their team to avoid danger or act alone to focus on finding items or leveling up before regrouping. The game will feature a day and night cycle where the areas you can explore will shrink further and further away. At the end of each day, as night falls and turns to midnight, players will have to survive and defeat boss monsters. When you finally defeat the final boss on the 3rd day, your team will be victorious. The game will be very similar to the original Elden Ring and Dark Souls, with an emphasis on challenging Souls-like combat, the ability to use spells, and the ability to freely customize the player character. However, the 3-player cooperative mode sets it apart from its predecessor, which was mostly single-player. As with Monster Hunter, the game will feature fields that can be replayed, allowing players to learn the habits of bosses and familiarize themselves with the best tactics for traversing certain maps. Director Junya Ishizaki calls the game a short RPG with the aim of combining the core elements of RPGs, such as world exploration, character development, and battles against powerful enemies, into a single session. With each new session, Night Wanderers start the game at first level, armed with weapons suited to their abilities, though players can change these weapons if they wish. Each character has fixed starting equipment, skills, and abilities, but players can customize these to their liking. Night Wanderers also have unique names. Players form a group of 3 Night Wanderers, and the game focuses on cooperative play without PvP, as the goal is to work together and survive for 3 days. The game will feature a total of 8 playable characters, each with unique abilities. As of now, only 4 characters have been officially unveiled. Below is the list of confirmed characters. Wilder, a versatile, balanced hero with the Cat's Claw and Invasion Wedge abilities. Guardian the Tank is a damage-resistant character specializing in delivering powerful, heavy attacks. Their special ability is Whirlwind, and their ultimate skill is Wings of Salvation. Hermit A, magic-based hero specializing in ranged magic attacks, with the Magic Cocktail ability and the ultimate skill, Blood Soul Song. Duchess the Duchess is a dexterous character with fast attacks and a fast movement ability called Shuffle. Their special ability is Finale, Raider. The Raider is an aging Viking armed with an axe, which he uses to chop down all who oppose him. It has been confirmed that the equipment in the game is taken from the base version of Elden Ring, but has been greatly improved. Many items have become more powerful. For example, the Pot of Flame has an increased blast radius, making it look like a grenade. Weapons will have randomized characteristics and retain the combat moves from Elden Ring, but will also have additional effects, such as boosts that increase strength or damage speed, and unique abilities, such as creating magic bullets during a dash. Notably, these effects remain active even if the weapon is not equipped, as long as it is in your inventory. Moreover, these effects can be combined for greater versatility. Mining is classified by rarity, which is indicated by color, helping players to quickly determine the value and quality of items. The loot is randomly selected, and weapon characteristics depend on the player's level. The inventory system is simplified, allowing players to carry up to 3 weapons at a time. After defeating challenging enemies, players will have a choice of several rewards. Enemies you encounter in the game during the day will be from Elden Ring, and several bosses from Elden Ring will return. In addition, players will encounter enemies from the Dark Souls series. The game will also feature intermediate bosses that give powerful items. Nightreign will have a large selection of random bosses for each day. Below is a list of some of the enemies whose appearance in Nightreign has been confirmed. Gladius, Many-Legged Demon, Tree Guardian, Magritte. At the end of a session, players are rewarded with stamps, currency that can only be used at the base, as well as relics and gear. Ishizaki compares relics to the bloodstones from Bloodborne, noting that the effects of relics range from simple character upgrades to improving a character's skills, martial arts, and normal actions. Using relics for customization can significantly affect your playstyle. The game is set in an alternate version of Limgrave, now called Limveld, and under the influence of the Night King. The map features vast open fields, bases, small dungeons, forts, towers, prisons, ruins, and other objects that players can explore and complete quests. These items are randomly placed at the beginning of each session, but remain in place throughout the session. Bases and dungeons are home to enemies and treasure chests. Defeating enemies earns players runes, which serve as experience points to level up, and treasure chests contain weapons and items. Weapons in the game vary in characteristics and combat abilities, which are randomly assigned. The Tide of Night or Ring of Power is a shrinking area of the playing field that gradually shrinks over time. Rain defines the boundaries of the play area, adding tension and urgency to the gameplay. It is also confirmed that the game will feature environmental events such as meteor showers or volcanic eruptions, further expanding the dynamic world. In an interview with PC Gamer, issue 405, director Junya Ishizaki revealed that the map features large-scale landscape changes, with volcanoes, swamps, and forests being procedurally generated. Our goal was to make the map resemble a giant dungeon, Ishizaki explained. That way, players can explore and traverse it differently each time they play through it. By the end of the third day, you have to choose which boss you want to fight. The game has a day and night cycle with fixed daylight hours. According to Ishizaki, getting through the third day will take about 40 minutes. Each day is divided into day and night phases, and as time passes, the area available to explore gradually decreases. The night phase begins with a boss battle, which is the key event of the day. The game is completed by defeating the final boss, which appears on the third day. If players are defeated in the boss battle, they will be sent back to a base called Hidden Round Table. Like the main game Elden Ring, it serves as the main hub where players can interact with non-player characters, access upgrades, use training areas, and visit shops. During daylight hours, if a player's health drops to 0, he goes into a near-death state. If he stays in this state for too long, he will die and revive. Allies can revive teammates on the verge of death by dealing multiple blows to them. There are various ways to save, such as using bows or magic to help from a distance, or using area attacks to revive multiple allies at once. Director Junya Ishizaki confirmed that Elden Ring Nightreign will support 3-player co-op or single-player modes, but will not include a 2-player mode. Additionally, the health of enemies will depend on whether you play alone or as part of a 3-person team. The game doesn't support cross-platform play, but it does allow for multi-generation play across platforms, giving PS4 players the ability to team up with PS5 players and Xbox One users with Xbox Series X/S users. Nightreign director Junya Ishizaki said that the game will not feature traditional text chat or stamps for in-game communication. Instead, players will rely on pings and gestures to interact. Ishizaki explained that the team values free-to-play communication, allowing players to engage in the game at their own pace. However, players can use external voice chat if they feel more comfortable doing so. The in-game ping system is designed to alert the entire group to a player's intended movements around the map and to highlight items of interest. Nightreign features several changes and updates over the base game Elden Ring. Characters now move more fluidly, including the ability to jump off walls, making it easier to traverse steep slopes. Fall damage is no longer an issue. To restore health and potion supplies, simply walk to a place of grace. Level ups have been simplified, allowing players to quickly spend runes to automatically level up based on their character's base stats. Elden Ring Nightreign transports players to Limveld, a parallel realm shrouded in darkness and danger. As the rise of the Night Lord threatens its delicate balance, players assume the roles of Nightwalkers, each with their own backstory and mission. Each character is given a unique name, such as Wilder and Guardian. Nightreign's PC requirements are not as devastating as its enemies and bosses. In a Twitter X post on April 28th, From Software revealed the game's minimum and recommended settings, which are very much achievable for most gaming setups. There's not much of a gap between its minimum and recommended specs, as the minimum requires Intel Core i5-1060 or Ryzen 5 while the recommended is Intel Core i5-11500 or Ryzen 5 600. The required memory is also close, with 12 GB and 16 GB respectively. The same can be said with its graphics card requirements, with the minimum going for GTX 1060 or Radeon RX 580, and the recommended for GTX 1070 or Radeon RX Vega 56. Fans applauded From Software's dedication to optimization, highlighting its low 30 GB storage requirement. With its release just less than a month away, From Software's recent reveals encourage fans to check out the upcoming multiplayer co-op survival. The overview trailer gave fans more things to get excited about as they ramp up towards its launch. Elden Ring Nightreign is set to be released on May 30th, 2025 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC. To stay up to date with the latest information about the game, check out our article below.